Hello, friends and mom. Uh, my name is Laura, and I am polyamorous in life and in knitting. And this podcast is mostly about my knitting. You can find me on Instagram as polyamorous knitter and on Ravelry as Onervainen. I will link all the important information down below in that box, so you can find things if you want to. I haven't been recording for a while because I felt like I just wanted to concentrate on my knitting and not on podcasting so much. But now I'm back again. I have good news. I have found some knitting friends here in Kajaani. Oh, I forgot to say that. I live in Finland, in a small town called Kajaani, and I haven't had live like not online knitting friends earlier, but now I have found some people thanks to Jenni Ansa, who is kotikotoni at Instagram. She had a post that this is a place or a post where you can find knitting friends if you want to. So I posted a comment on that her post. So that's I want to find some knitting friends in Kajaani, and there were some other Kajaani people also, and now we have a small WhatsApp group and we can chat there together, and we have seen each other once, or at least there was 4 of us, so I have got to meet some new knitting friends, which was really nice. But that led me to think about this podcast, because I have been doing this in English, because the main reason for that is that I've watched other podcasts, and I really like to find knitting people all around the world. So if they don't speak English, then I don't understand. So that's the reason I wanted to do my podcast in English too. And also it felt really natural to me, because I've been watching all these English speaking podcasts, and yeah, it felt really natural to me. But I was talking with the other people in the Kajaani knitting group, and they were saying that they would rather watch Finnish podcasts, that their English is not so good, that they can like concentrate on their knitting and the podcast at the same time if it is in English. So I've been wondering if I should also make my podcasts in Finnish. But I've been thinking that I really like this English podcasting too. So what I might do is I could do both. Maybe not like every episode is in English and in Finnish, but I would figure out how I would make both in English and in Finnish, so that my viewers could enjoy the language they want to. So what I want you to do is leave a comment down below if you want to keep watching my podcast in English. Please comment that you want that, so I know that there is someone who wants to listen to me speaking in English and continue watching my English podcasts. And well, if you want to see and listen these podcasts in Finnish, you can comment about that too. But if you don't, I don't know what the people want, so then I will just make up my own mind and do what feels best for me. But if there is someone who wants to continue watching my podcast in English, please let me know. And you can also comment on other things. Just tell me how you are doing and what you are knitting. It would be really nice to get to know the people who watch me. I know there's not a lot of them, but I know there is some, and I really, really appreciate everyone and every viewing and every subscription, everyone who has subscribed to my channel, and every thumbs up and every comment. So it means the world to me that some people have left comments and even messaged me in Instagram, because that's the way that I know that someone is watching and enjoying these podcasts, and that is important to me. Some days I think that nobody cares and nobody wants to watch, but and then someone just comments something, then I know that okay, this is worth doing. So that keeps me going. So please comment, and also you can put thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, what else? Now I am going to talk about knitting, because that is, most of you are here. Maybe Mom and Habibi is here because of me, but most of you are here because of the knitting. So I'm telling you what I'm wearing. First of all, I am wearing this Vattuniemi pipo that I started knitting at the end of last year. So this was meant to be one colored beanie or hat, but maybe at this point I realized that I'm not going to have enough of this yarn, this asphalti yarn left. So I thought that what will I do? Because I had two colors of this. This is Ruskanlehti Polvart Deco, and these are the leftovers of my Gelosias sweater. And I thought that I want to continue making this hat with the same yarn. So I decided, okay, I'll just take that. This is Huma, this red, not red, but magenta or something. And so I decided that I don't want to make like just like it's first it's dark gray and then suddenly it's just our other color. So what I did was I made this, because Vattuniemi means raspberry. I wrote it down because I didn't know the word for Niemi. It's Ness, raspberry Ness. And these are like the raspberries. So I thought that I'll make these raspberries with this yarn. And when I'm starting to run out of this gray, then I'll just swap. I'll swap them, that the raspberries will be like the dark gray, and at the end there is just this Huma color. And I think it turned out quite nice. It does look quite a bit different than the original one that is knit only in one color, but I think this is quite fun. And I think like these are the raspberries, and then when you get here, then it's like raspberry jam or jelly. So this, I think this is fun and nice. I am very happy with the results. And I knit this in 3.25 millimeter needles, this ribbing, and the main part I knit in 3.5 millimeter needles. So I'm really happy with this. And I'm wearing, if you have been here before, You might have seen this. This is my ranunculus by Midori Hirose. But this looks a bit different than before, because I had dyed the yarn myself, so it was like this black and blue and white. So I didn't like the way it pooled around on the body. It's still, you can still see the pooling, but now it's not so obvious. I dyed this over with black and purple, so it is darker, and I really like this. This is so much more wearable for me, because I'm better with dark colors than light colors. So I think this looks a lot more like me. So I'm very happy about this. There's only one problem, that the first time I dyed the yarn, it felted, because it's non-superwash. So I felt it, and also this as a sweater, it has felted a bit, because I wore this in like late summer last year, and it was really hot, and I got sweaty, and I had a backpack, and it just felted on the back. But I don't mind, it's okay. I'm still glad that I have this, my first ranunculus, and there will be more ranunculi, but not yet, but at some time. And when I dyed this ranunculus, there was still some of the dye left in the pot when I took this off, because it was, I left it overnight to cool, but it didn't absorb all the dye. So what I thought was that, okay, then I'll use that again. So I decided to dye some yarn at the same time. So this is what I got as a result. I think this is really lovely. This actually, I think this lighter part of this yarn was what was left of the ranunculus dye. And then I added some black and red, and I think these are so lovely. I have 4 skeins of this single merino. I got this from Rova Silmusolmu, a Finnish yarn store. So they sell these white skeins, so you can dye it yourself. And also they dye their own, but it's quite a lot cheaper to buy white yarn and dye it yourself. So I really like these, and I am going to make the pavement by Veera Välimäki with this yarn. I really love when there's these red spots, and because it is this muted and grays, and it is so lovely. I was so happy. I didn't know what to expect, because I'm not very experienced dyer, so it's always a surprise that what comes out of the pot. And at this moment, it is the fun part for me. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the FOs. That means finished objects. So I have, because it has been a while since I recorded, Christmas has gone by, and I have got all of my Christmas knittings, or Christmas presents done by the last time. So this is the first I'm going to show you. This is, I made this for Habibi, my husband. This is a Vohveli cowl by Anni Jutinits. This is the largest size, because he has a huge head and is a quite large man also. I don't remember what the original cowl was knit with, but I used my stash yarn, so what I have left of other projects or just hanging in my in my stash. So there is the base is this variegated yarn that is Hobby Manaya. So, and there is this purple and a bit of blue, I don't know if you can see it, and green, and I think the yarn is really, really soft and nice. I've made one beanie out of it before and it felt nice, soft. And then there is a mohair added to that yarn, and I didn't get the gauge with only one mohair, so I added two. And the first I tried to, or I swatched with, was slate green Filcola Natilia. It is green. I don't know if you can see it here. No, maybe not. But there is, I think you can see there is a green halo. And then the other one is Hobby Diablo Black. So I think it's the black mohair did that. This is darker and more muted. It's not so bright, these colors, and it is, I think it's good for hubby because he wears black, not any bright colors ever. So I think this might be the most colorful thing that he wears, at least outside home. And he has worn this. I hope he likes this. I can show you it on me, or maybe I can even pop up or put a picture of him wearing this. So it is like this. It is big for me. I would do this medium or small for myself. And yeah, I used 5mm needles on this as the pattern said, I think. And then there is two that I don't have here with me, because I have given the knits for the recipients. So the first is Fisuset, the fish socks I was making for my son, Kuru, who's 16 years old. And I did make them in time for Christmas. So I'm quite happy for that. I will insert a picture maybe here. And they were designed by Sarita Kotkavalkama, and they were in this book called Vilukissan Ylipolven sukat. So like over the knee socks for, or her name is Vilukis. Yeah, but he's been wearing them ever since he got them, so I suspect that he is happy with them. At least he was so glad that they were so tall. They were really like well above the knee for him. And the other one, I finished it a bit after Christmas, but before the New Year's. It was the Anna Huolia Hevosen sweater I was knitting for a friend of mine who lives in Helsinki, and I have sent that to her, and she was really happy about it, and it fits her perfectly, which I'm very happy about, because I was a bit concerned. But yeah, and she thought that the colors were perfect for her, and she really liked it, so that's the main thing. I'm really happy that she was so over the moon about it. I'll insert a picture of that finished sweater also. So the Anna Hålia Hevosen was designed by Jenna Kostet, and it was in the book Neulottu Kalevala, knitted Kalevala in English. And I knit the sweater in Sandnes Garn Perkynt. The next, okay, it wasn't a Christmas present because they were done like this week. So, and today is the 15th of January of 2023. They are these. These are Metsäsukat by Hanne-Mari. I don't remember her last name, but her designer name is HNNMR Designs, Finnish designer. And last year I test knit these Metsäsukat, forest socks, for her, and then I decided that I want to make them for Arni, our 14-year-old, for Christmas. But I didn't manage to do that, but he's getting them now, so it's okay. So the main thing about the pattern, or what I really liked, is this cabling, these small cables in the cuff. This is really nice. I think it makes the cuff really like nice and sturdy. Then cause I knit these in Jalovilla Oinas, and the Oinas is maybe DK weight, and it was designed for worsted weight socks, and I think this is like light DK even, so it was quite thin. Then the heel didn't work. What the heel that was in the pattern, it didn't work with these or with my gauge. So I did this heel flap and gussets. I'm not sure how you call it in English, but in Finnish it's said it's ranskalainen, so French heel. And then I made this ribbing on here, the 2x2 ribbing on the top part of the sock, so that it will sit Arni's foot a bit better, because she has his feet are not wide like this. They are quite small, but the size is European size 40, so they are like tall but thin feet. But here they are, and they're all washed and blocked and ready to go. Now I can give these to him, and I'm happy that I got this done. Then the next thing is one thing that you have not seen before, or at least this version, because I started this on the 5th or the 6th of January, so it took me a bit over a week to make, and it is this Lento by Jonna Hietala. I have a short video that I will insert somewhere here that you can see it on me. I'm not wearing it now because I was getting so hot that I couldn't. But I think this is so nice. Did you know that Lento means flight in Finnish? And also it is a musical term, but I cannot remember what that means. But anyways, so it's quite fitting that this it is light and airy, because it is knit in large needles, 6mm needles. And I made these sleeves long, really long, because I wanted to keep my hands warm. And then I knit the hem as far as I could, so until I ran out of the other yarn. And the yarn I used was this Bio Shetland, and this is light fingering, and I wanted to pick this instead of thicker fingering because I don't have the yarn left anymore. But this is Gedifra Laura, and this is a heavier like heavier. This it's not mohair, it's alpaca. There is cotton. I don't know if you can see it. In the middle there is some cotton, and then this is alpaca, this furry one. Do you say it like that? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I wanted to choose a lighter yarn to go with this. And this is the fabric they made together. And I think it is very, very lovely. It feels really different from my first Lento, which was made of merino, like fingering weight merino and silk mohair. But that I knew because this is like rustic wool. Not so itchy for me, but it is definitely rustic and not like mohair. And also this Laura it feels different to mohair. There's no silk, and I think the alpaca feels a bit different too. But I really like the fabric they make. This is more of a wintry one, because sometimes it gets really cold in here. So this is really light and warm, because it is like more woolly than the other Lento I have. I really liked it. The only thing is that I would have preferred it to be a bit, so the hem would be a bit longer. I tried to rip this this belt or scarf that I need previously, but it felt impossible. It just sticks. It doesn't want to unravel. So I didn't have any more of that Laura left. So it is now this length, and I think I will be very happy with it. And I am participating in Let's Lento Cal, which is hosted by Amy Palko, a Scottish podcaster, and Crea Bea. Her name is Rebecca something. I don't remember what it is. She's also Scottish. They live in Edinburgh, and they are quite well known in this knitting community. And they wanted to have a Lento Cal, or Lento as they say. And as I had the yarn for this that I had gotten for this before, then I decided, okay, now it's time to knit that, because there is that knit along. So I did. And I'm happy to have this. Okay, I think that is all the FOs I have. And now let's go on to the WiP's. There is only one I'm going to show you that you have seen before, and it is this Weekender by Andrea Mauri. I have the body here, but not the sleeves quite yet. I finished the body part yesterday midnight. So I really love the construction in this. There is this ribbing on the shoulder, and it is like a dropped sleeve, and I think it looks really nice. And it is like the purl side is the right side, and there is this one stitch that goes in the middle, and I think it's quite fun. So like this, and I've knitted this with Cascade 220, and the colorway is Galaxy. I don't know if you can see it. It looks brown again, at least to my eye on the screen, but it is like there is red and blue and I don't know if you can see. Anyway, I'm quite happy with this, and we'll do the sleeves, I think, quite soon. So then I'll have like these 2 warm basic sweaters, which is nice. I haven't had like woolly sweaters before. And these next 2 I have talked about before. So here is one of them living in my bag. I don't have those fancy project bags. And this is a Pohjola by Jenna Kostet. And this is from the book Neulottu Kalevala, Knitted Kalevala. And this was my Christmas Eve cast on. So I had to do it like 5 times. So I think this last version is done in the Christmas day, because every time I started knitting this ribbing, then it was twisted, and I tried to like, okay, I have to rip it out and start over, and it was twisted like 4 or 5 times until I just got it right. But this is knit in Saima wool. This, I think the colorway is natural black, so it is the black sheeps. It's more brown than black actually, but I think it's nice. And there is some vegetable matter, like often with these rustic yarns. This is a Finn sheep, and it doesn't feel so soft on the skein, but once it's knit up, it does feel really soft. It is like magic. And the other yarn I have is this Kaarama Nyrikki Harmas, which means it is Kainu gray, Kainuun Harmas. The breed of the sheep is Kainuun Harmas. And the colorway is Orvokki. Orvokki is a flower, I think, lilac or something. Okay, now I have a cat here. She's almost on the screen. And I am knitting this in 3.25 millimeter needles, and because I got gauge with that, but now that I have knit this, then I saw that it is my gauge is a bit too tight, so I hope that this will still fit me, or when I block this it will get looser. But I think I'm really happy about this, how I've managed. It's quite even, and I taught myself to do this. This is called tikapu in Finnish, but I'm not, I don't know, it is some, when you do the stranded knitting and then you do this, I think it's some kind of jacquard on the back or something like that. So when there's long floats, I have done this tikaput and I think it looks quite nice, because I have had trouble with those long strands before, and now that I've done these, it's much better. And there's still, I think I have done maybe a third of the color work, and so this will be quite a long hem, and the top part of the sweater will be like ribbing. I think it's 2 by 2 on the sleeves and on the bottom part here. So I think it will be really beautiful. And I was thinking that if it is too tight for me, then what I could do is stick it and make it into a cardigan, because I really could use more cardigans, because almost all I have 2 that I have knit before, but the cardigans are so useful that I feel like I could do with some more. And all the old ones I have are like some acrylic, and they are really peeling a lot and not very nice anymore, and they are also like 10 years old or more. So I think my next step for me in my knitted wardrobe is to make more cardigans. So if this won't be a sweater, it might be a cardigan if I have the nerves to stick it. But I'm going to train that sticking thing, so I will be able to do that, I hope. The next one is Shawl, and this was my Boxing Day cast one. I don't know if there is such a thing, but now there is. This is designed by Stephen West. No, it's the wrong way. And it is Aurora cabin shawl. So it is this year's, or rather last year's, hibernate along. And I am knitting this in Vuonue Wilhelmi Kampalanka, which means like worsted spun. So this is quite soft and silky, and I think it drapes nicely. And it is woolly wool. It's like a Finnish, from Finnish sheep. I'm not sure if it's Finnish sheep, but no, Finnish sheep. Yeah. I think this pattern is really, no, I cannot show it. Really beautiful, and although what these other Aurora cabin shawls that I have seen, they all are quite light, and like the colors are light and or bright, and I think this is with the darkest color I have seen. But this is like perfect for me. And also, if you know how this should look, you'll see that I made a boo-boo, as they say, a mistake, somewhere around here. So these should be like straight lines, but they are not. But I think it's okay. And maybe no one will notice unless I tell that. And I think it's fine, because I tried to follow the pattern, but I was always off by a few stitches. So it looks like this. And when I noticed it, I was like here, so I was thinking, no, I'm not gonna do that again. It'll be fine. It is fine for me. But I think this is really nice, really lovely. And what I've been thinking is that I'm knitting it with 2.75 millimeter needles. The pattern calls for 3.5, which is a lot thicker, but in the pattern it said that please do a swatch so that you won't run out of yarn. So I did, and I got gauge with these small needles with this yarn, because it is like really thin. It is 400 meters per 100 grams, so it is like the basic fingering weight, but it feels so thin somehow. And I was thinking that, oh no, that's okay, I'm gonna do that with these needles. I'm not sure if this is if the gauge is okay, but I think it is, and when I'll block this, I think it will be fine. Because I didn't want to run out of yarn, but I don't think I would, because these are like 400 meters per gram or per skein, and in the pattern it was like maybe 360 meters. So I think I would have been fine, but now I'm doing with this, and I'm not gonna start again, and I decided that this will be fine. And I've heard that this is going to be a huge shawl, so I don't think I need like that huge shawl. So this won't be small by any means, even if I do this with these needles. And the colors I use are this forest green, dark gray. This is like the natural color of the sheep. This is purple, as you can see. And then there is this petrol, I think it was the name of this. Yeah, petrol. I have this, one American podcaster said that these are yarn condoms. Yeah. I think that she has bought them somewhere. They are not really called yarn condoms. They have some other name, but I've made this out of socks, like the cuff part of the socks, if the sock part is, or the feet part is worn through. I think it was Hey Brown Berry who talked about this, that you can do this with socks. So I did this because Arni had a lot of socks that he didn't use anymore, and he gave, so I could use them. Basically the size was okay for me, but some of them were like not okay anymore, so I used those sock cuffs and made these yarn condoms. So this is why, because I take the yarn from the middle of the ball here, or the cake, and it is really annoying when the yarn from the outer side is starting to unravel. So this is what keeps them like this. And I put the tag here, and this is the, for this project I put these like letters, because the yarn were like from A to E, so I didn't want to forget that what was my A, B, C, D and E. So I can see it here. Okay. Oh, the last color is this natural black. So it is the sheep's own color. And I think this has been a really fun project. I've never done anything like this. I think a lot of people haven't done these stitches before. So it's I think the best thing in knitting is, for me at this point, that there's always something new to try and new things to learn. I think that's the part I enjoy the most. Also, I enjoy the stockinette stitch knitting round and round and round when you do a sweater. So that's fun too. And there are sometimes you feel like that's all you can do, but it is when you feel like learning new stuff, it is one of my favorite things about knitting. Yeah, the last thing I'm going to show you is a new WiP, and as you can see, it is really new. I've gotten this far, so not very far. I basically just cast this on and did a few rows, and this is going to be the seer. It is a cloak for Kuru, our 16-year-old. He asked me to make him a cloak, so I am doing that. Actually, I was thinking that I could do this to myself too, or for myself, after I have done this, because the idea of a cloak seems so much fun. I'm always hot when I walk, because I don't know why. I just am. So I keep my coat open all the time, even if it's like minus 20 degrees of Celsius. So with a cloak, it would be so easy. Anyway, I was going to show you the picture of the cloak that is going to be, but I forgot to take my iPad, and I don't know if I can insert a picture from someone else in here, so you'll see it sometime later. And I'm going to link my Ravelry projects under there, so if you want to, you can go see there my project, and there is and through that you can find the pattern and the picture of the cloak that this will be. I'm using Istex Letlopi Icelandic yarn, because I have heard that is the best yarn for like outside stuff, so it will keep like not to get wet and stuff like that. And the color that he said red. He just said, oh, red's good. I chose this red mainly because you know that there is hard to get some colors of Istex, these Icelandic wools. So I found this color and there was enough of it. So that was the main reason, I think. But I also think it is really nice. It looks like this. It's not like bright red. It's perfect. The colorway is 1409. It was called Garnet Red. And then there is going to be like cables on the side of the cloak and some color work in the bottom part of the cloak. So in the colorway work, I'm going to use this blue, what blue was that? Stone blue heather. And then I haven't received yet, but I will have 2 balls of bottle green, and then I am going to use these leftovers from my Sydänmaa sweater. So this is Novita Icelandic wool, like this dark gray and light gray. I did have like that bright pink too, but he didn't want that, so so I had to order a few balls of that green yarn. And I'm actually quite excited about this project, because it is something I have never done, and there is going to be sticking in this, because I didn't know that when I got the pattern, but when I started making this, then I saw, okay, there is going to be stick. I thought that it was going to be knitted flat, but it wasn't. And I think this is like the perfect project for me to practice my sticking. Don't you think? So for the ones who don't know that what sticking is, it is like when you knit in the round like this, and then you cut through the fabric so you can open it. Like you can do cardigans and cloaks and other stuff with it too. Yeah. Now that I've got my Lento ready, and soon will have my weekender done, then I think that I will concentrate on this for a while. I was hoping that I would make this for this winter, but it is quite a large project, so I might not. Maybe it is done for next fall or something. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to talk to you about? Maybe not. I think this is long enough episode for now already. So thank you. If you're still there, thank you for watching, and subscribe if you haven't, and like if you have liked this episode, and just happy stitches to you, whether that is knitting or crocheting, or is there other ways you can stitch with a knitting machine, or maybe sewing machine. There are stitches, yeah. Okay, bye bye.